You're a rebel, getting into trouble. You are kinda like a fire, like a fire, like a fire. Unpredictable, so original. You are never backing down, backing down, backing down. That's what I like about you. So dangerous, I get this rush when I'm with you. I go all in to lose or win. Build things up to knock 'em down. It's the way we keep our high, moving like a hurricane. There will come a time for when we can wash away your sins, settle down, but until then, we're like a hurricane. You're so different, kind of ignorant. You don't care what people say, people say, people say. I'm going crazy for your baby. Don't know how you're making me feel this way. What can I say? That's what I like about you. So
All right, good day everyone, and welcome back to Mommy Guide Inc. For those who are new, I am Mommy Lala, and this is my weekend crafty nights here at my channel. Normally, I go live every Wednesdays and Saturdays, but last Wednesday, life happened, and so I wasn't able to go live. I wanted to make it up on the Thursday, but Friday. But this month is just truly jam-packed with amazing events, in real life events. So apologies again, but again, welcome for those who are new and watching on replay. So today we are going to be working with another interactive card. I've been missing creating those kinds of cards. When I got into card making several years ago, it was really what inspired me to go into this, because my kids were still young that time, and interactive cards were always fun, not just for me but for my kids as well. All right, so welcome. Earliest in the chat today we have Tamara. Hello Tamara, thank you so much for being here. And of course we also have Michelle, and we are so blessed to have you here. Welcome to you both. All right, so as mentioned in the thumbnail and in the title, this is what we're going to be doing today, is a trifold card. And a trifold card is one of the easiest kind of interactive card that we can actually start with. But while I was going through it, I realized that, I can actually create, a double, even a triple or a quadruple. Okay, interactive card. It could be like a Russian kind of doll where it's like another one and another one and another one. So it actually, I feel that you can even make smaller if we want to. So bear with me with that. I will show you how to do it in a bit. Oh, thank you, Tamara. I actually am able to comb my hair today. We actually watched, I don't know if you know about BTS. That's a Korean K-pop group. And today was their like a teaser concert, free concert in Korea, and was shown on Netflix. And my kids and I and my nanny, we were like dancing to it. So there you go. Hi, Laurie. Good morning. Yes, thank you so much, my dear friends, for being here early. All right, so let's start. So what do you need? Okay, so I think those who are actually right now in the chat, they know this so well. But if you are new to card making, or maybe you have not seen this yet, or maybe you have, but you kind of forgot about it. So it's just like a refresher course. of how to actually create the basic trifold card, and then we will level it up a bit by doing a double trifold card. All right, so first and foremost, the things you will need. Okay, you would need a ruler. If it's a T ruler, better. All right, and then of course you would need some papers. Okay, ephemeras, sentiments, okay, that you would want to put on your card. And if you can see over here, over there. All right, so we have here the measurements of all the things that you would be needing. All right, so we have, all right, first and foremost, we start with, okay, I've already prepared some that have been pre-cut, so it would be easier for us to go and decorate later on. But first and foremost, of course, okay, let me just grab. Okay, you do need a bigger, okay, paper trimmer. Now, if you don't have a paper trimmer, it's okay. You can always measure manually, okay, a paper that is, okay, 5.5. All right, so that is 5.5 inches, okay, by 12 inches. Okay, there are many variations of this actually. I saw several, but this one I really tried to tweak. I tweaked it so that it would be more or less that of an A2 size card. All right, so this is again, the width is 5.5 by 12. Okay, so after you have cut your paper, so you can either use a long band paper, or 8.5 by 13, I think, or 14, or you can use a 12 by 12 paper. It can be a solid cardstock, it can be patterned, it can be single-sided or double-sided like this one. These are very, very old papers that I've had, or I have, from my scrapbooking days. All right, so there you go. So after you have cut, okay, so that's the first item on the list over there, the 5.5 inches by 12 inches. So after you have cut that, okay, let me just set aside my paper trimmer. All right, so there you go. Hello, Ella on Facebook. All right, so we didn't have Bible study, Ella, last week. All right, so hopefully this weekend, if you can join us, that would be great. All right, so the next is we are going to be scoring. Okay, when you say score, that is just like simply saying making a crease. Again, for those who are new, okay, to the channel or new to paper crafting, and some of the terms might be new to you. So if you do have questions, yes, please, absolutely put them in the chat. All right, so let me just check. Okay, just a bit of a tech check. All right, so if we indeed are, okay, live on, okay, our channels, okay, both on the vertical and the horizontal. All right, so after you have cut this piece of paper, the next thing we're gonna do is score, okay? So you will score it onto, all right, so you will score it onto the, oh my goodness, okay. You will score it onto the 1 inch, okay, on the short side. So this is the long side and this is the short side. All right, so you will score this 1 inch. Okay, so 1 inch, okay, going down, okay, from the short side. So we'll do it like that. Okay, so let's do it on the other side so that it's not too dark and that you can see it. All right, so there. Okay, and since you just can't see because, my camera, okay, but then you go. Okay, so I've scored it the whole length. Okay, and then it said, okay, flip. Okay, and then flip. Okay, so onto this side. Okay, and then now you score on this side. Okay. So that in effect, you will have scored 1 inches or 1 inch on both ends on the short side of your 5.5 by 12 paper, like so. Yes, and Laurie is saying hi to everybody, of course. Right now, it's Tamara and Michelle. Thank you so much, Laurie. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do, okay, is to go on to, okay, rotate it, okay, either clockwise or counterclockwise. It doesn't matter. Okay, now you will score it on the 2 inches. Okay, 2 inches from the side. Okay. 2 inches. Okay, flip. Okay, but then I'm just putting the white side so that you guys can see it. All right, 2 inches. So now you would see that you have score lines going this way and then going that way. All right. And of course, the most important, okay, score lines, I forgot to put in the list over there, but I'll update that. Okay, so this is 12-inch, right? So you need to score it on the 4 and on the 8th. Now, if you don't have a big scoring tool like this, just score it on the 4, okay, or on the 8th, okay, and then put it like or both on the 4th or on the 4th, like that. Okay, you just flip it. So you will have basically, okay, divided this into 3. Okay, so what do we do next? Okay, so what we do next is we're going to be folding this. Okay, so my paper is directional. Directional meaning that, the butterflies are, facing this way. So if I do it that way, they're going to be upside down, right? So take note of that when you actually work with your paper. If you are working with a directional paper, take note of, where it should be. All right, so that they're not wrong side up or down. Okay, so there you go. And then we will now fold and burnish, okay, on the long side on the 4-inch. Okay, on the 4-inch side. I mean on the short side. Okay. Oh, and then we will sew, okay, again, the last 4-inch. Right, so right now we have something like this. That's already your trifold or your, some people say Z-fold. Okay, trifold or Z-fold. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so that's the first step after you've scored everything. All right, so the next thing that you're going to score is those 2 scored lines on the top and at the bottom. And these are 1 inch from the bottom, 1 inch from the top. All right, so we'll go ahead and score that. I mean, fold and burnish. All right. All right, we're gonna fold and burnish like so. You can do it both sides so that the paper has been, what do you call that? I'm looking for the word. Somehow it breaks the bonds of the paper so that it would fold easier. I forgot the term, my friends. It will come back to me in a little bit. You know how my memory is. All right, so now we have folded it into, okay, 3. That's the trifold card. Okay, and then we have also folded and burnished, okay, the score lines 1 inch up and 1 inch down. Now we still have the score lines over there, right? So what we're gonna do next is we will, okay, if you would see that there is this score line over there. So you need to grab, I forgot, you also would be needing scissors. You may use scissors or you may use a, what do you call it? Or you may use paper trimmer. So it's up to you which one you prefer, or you can even use a an X-Acto knife, okay, for this. Okay, so let's put this aside first. Okay. So what you're gonna do now is, okay, so from here, this is where we started, right? Okay, you rotate 90 degrees, and then you would see that now facing you are these two, okay, scored lines to the left and the right, and then that there is that middle score lines. So you will cut, okay, from this edge up to that middle score line. Take note that these are two papers that are folded together like so. All right, so if you have an X-Acto knife, you can use that. Paper trimmer, you can use that. Just make sure that you only cut up to this part. All right, so that it would look something like that. All right. Okay, so again, so we are coming from here. You fold that back. So this is again where we were coming from. Okay, so from here, you did the cutting like that, right? So now you extend that and you fold this back because it was like that, right? So now we're gonna cut this side of the card. All right. Now it's onto the edge up to, again, that score line in the middle. Okay, again, there are two pieces folded together. Okay, again, only up to that part. All right. I find that sometimes using an X-Acto knife would be easier and better for this side, like this one. See? There's a bit that wasn't really absolutely cut, but the point is you should be able to cut that so that, see, that middle part have been cut. All right, so again, now we close it. Okay, so now you have this C-fold card, okay, and then with cuts onto 1 inch on top and 1 inch at the bottom, and then you have 2 inches on each side that's not cut, right? So the next thing that you do, okay, is you will now fold. If you can see, there's a score there from when we scored it earlier. Okay, so you will do mountain, valley, mountain, valley. You know what mountain is? It looks like that, right? And valleys would look valleys would look like this. Okay, mountains would look like that. Okay, so if this one, okay, on that score line, you will fold mountain. Okay, same with the other side, mountain. And then the next score line is this one, that will be valley. Right? So mountain, valley, same on the other side. You have mountain and then fold it this way. So you have valley. All right? So, and then, so mountain, valley. So the next score line is this one will be mountain. So the same with the other side. Take note, we're just folding the ones that are from the outside. All right, so mountain, valley, mountain. So the next score line, okay, on top and at the bottom would be valley now, right? And then all you need to do is to fold it like so. Now you have your trifold card. And how easy is that? Okay, we are what? 34 minutes into the show. And hold on. Okay, I'm just getting my bone folder. Okay, so now we just try to burnish. Okay, again, fold and burnish. Okay, our paper so that it folds nicely. Okay, so that is now our folds. So if you can see, it would look like that. That's why I like double-sided, so that no matter which direction, it would look nice. But don't worry, because you can always, decorate it. And I'll show you several. We will create several takes on this one. All right. So are there questions? So we have done already the main mechanism of our trifold card. Okay, but remember, we're doing a double trifold card, right? So this is just a regular trifold card. Okay, hi Anna. Again, Anna, congratulations. Anna is, if you have not yet seen, all right, so Kendra did announce the coming design team for Kendra's Card Challenge 22, which starts on in April, and Anna is one of them. So congratulations, Anna. All right, and okay, so I think there is an old, okay, there you go. All right, so again, that's the first part, and then you could see, okay, that the mats and layers, if you want it to stay just like this one, you just want to make it simple, just put on your sentiment, you're good to go. Right? So it doesn't have to be very complicated, especially if you're just starting. This is okay. You know, just put your sentiment, or you can now already, you know, decorate however which way you can. Okay, and then put on your sentiment, and then that's good to go. Otherwise, you can also put in the mats and layers, and I put the dimensions over there. For this card, which is 5.5 and 12, 5.5 by 12, okay, you just need the 2 3/4 by 3.5. That's the mat. And the one that goes on top is your 2.5 by 3.25. So this is how it would look like. And I have gone ahead and, you know, cut. So this is your 2 3/4 by 3.5. Let me just get this one. All right, so your 3.5, okay, and that is your 2 3/4. All right, so that's your mat, and the layer that goes on top is 3.25, and then this is 2.5. All right, so basically for this trifold, you will need 3 of these. Okay, again, coordinating, it's up to you. Okay, depends on what paper you have chosen. Okay, so you can do it like so. All right. I really tried to make this as basic and as easy, so that for those who might see this and you are new to card making, okay, I hope that you'll be inspired to actually try this out, right? So, oh, this is so nice, and it's embossed, but I decided to put it under, right? So all I will do now is to put this layer on top of the mat. All right, so this one is a non-directional because you can see the butterflies are going up and down, left and right. So it doesn't matter which way, okay, you want to put it. No worries, that's okay. All right, and then we will add that onto the middle of our first panel, okay, on our trifold. Okay, so that is like the beginning. Maybe it looks better like this way. All right, so there you go, keeping it, you know, not flat. My paper is already a bit, you know, these are dry embossed with a little bit of glitter. So there's already a little bit of dimension onto it. Okay, and then we open, okay, and flatten, and then we're gonna put the rest of our mats and layers. Again, only if you want to. Let's say I will show you one that where I use just plain paper, and you will realize why this part, okay, can make your card really pop out. Okay, these papers are very, very old. These are from my scrapbooking days from the 1900s, you know, as we would fondly call our old supplies. Okay, so there you go. So now you have, all right, so we now have that one. All right, okay. So the nice thing about having pattern paper is that, again, you don't need to decorate that much, right? But if you do want plain paper, you can actually do it as well. All right. So now we go and move on to our next one. Okay, let me see, where did I put my smaller panel? Okay, am I missing it? 1, 2. Oh, I think I lost the other one. Okay. Because this is for, okay. So I think we have to do this one. Okay, so we will decorate it later. Okay, so now that's the regular trifold card. Okay, we will all decorate all the cards together later. All right, so let's do another one. Let's start with another one. Okay, so this time with just the plain card. Okay, and then this time we're gonna make it into a double okay, Z fold. All right, so just like before, we start with a 5.5 by 12 inches. So that's 5.5 by 12 inches as your base, and then you score it onto the 4 inches and the 8 inches. Now, if you don't have a big scoring board, you can just score on the 4th and then flip and then score on the 4th again. So you'll have that, and then you'll just do mountain valley fold. All right, so now you have 3 folds, right? And then score on the 1 inch. Okay, from left to right, 1 inch. Okay, and then this one is also 1 inch. So you can score 1 inch, flip, 1 inch, and then fold and burnish. Okay, so now we will fold and burnish like so. Okay, so I showed you earlier on one that was where we used double-sided pattern paper as our base. And since this is our base, it's a little bit on the thicker side, medium to heavy cardstock. Okay, and then of course, on the long side, score onto the 2 inch. Okay, and then flip, score again onto the 2 inch. All right, or 2 and then 10. Okay, and then you will, again, like what we did before, cut. Okay, so remember, you're folding it like this. Okay, so twist it 90 degrees and then, okay, remove the lower part. Okay, so you're basically working with 2 pieces of card folded onto each other, and then you will cut from the edge down to that scored line in the middle. Okay, and do the same on the other side. Okay, so you may use scissors, you may use paper trimmer, you may use an X-Acto knife. All right, so from there, okay, open this up, okay, and flip, close that side, okay, with the one at the bottom. Okay, and then now you are going, okay, to cut now this edge up to the middle scored line over there. Okay, can you see it? Can't. There you go. But there is that scored line. Okay, so do not cut up to the edge, only up to that one. So that in effect, okay, so there you go. This is the part where I feel that sometimes it's better to use X-Acto knife than the scissors. Okay, so but there you go. Clean cut. Again, we started from there. All right, and then we cut this part first up to that scored line. We open this up. We flip this close. Okay, and then cut again from this up to the scored line. And when you open it up, you should have that middle part open. And then you have 2 inches onto the left and on the right that is not cut. All right, and then you will now go ahead and fold the upper part. Okay, mountain, valley, right? So mountain, both sides, both the top and bottom. The next chord line, valley. The next one, mountain. Okay, and then the last chord line, valley. And so it would close like so. Okay, and then you just, fold and then burnish. Remember, this is a little bit thick, so sometimes you just gotta move a little bit. Okay, the paper so that it would, when you fold and burnish it. Okay, there you go. Okay, to make sure that it's aligned. All right, so now you have this. Okay, so it's just plain. Okay, so now the next thing that you will do is just the same measurements of the mats and layers. Okay, so but then again, this one I decided that I will just put the mat, no layer onto this. But since this is plain, okay, what you can do is you can cut a strip of paper of the same pattern or different or coordinating one. So this is actually, okay, the size of which is, all right, so this is, okay, what is that? Okay, 3 3 3/4. So you'll just, what I did, 3 3/4 by 3/4. Okay, so there you go. Let me see so that we can see. Okay, there you go. 3 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. And then what I did was I just folded that into half and then I cut. So that now I can use that to decorate the edges of my plain cardstock. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick all of this. I have cut it earlier, okay, so that it would be easier for us to, okay, just decorate and attach. Okay, so again, they're doing very basic. Okay, you can do whatever it is you want to do. Let's say you want to do some mixed media techniques onto this one. Absolutely, you can. You want to stamp, you want to heat emboss, whatever it is, definitely you can do. Okay, you can do so. So again, another strip. Okay. And then it could be the same paper or coordinating paper. It is absolutely up to you. Okay, and then you open it up. Okay, and then you can just add. Okay, so you need 3 pieces of this one because the trifold, okay, part. Okay, so if you open it up and lay it flat, this is what it's gonna look like, and then just simply add all of those layers, okay, to all of the different panels of your trifold card, like so. Okay, so again, there's so many different ways to make this your own. Okay, so if you want to use a different kind of paper, go ahead. Absolutely, you can. And of course, hi, Tamara. Thank you. Tamara's not a newbie. Right, so we have friends here from Crafty Fun Friends. Okay, of course we have, that's Christy Snail Mail Barella. Okay, and of course we also would be able to see our dear friends from the Happy Crafty Ho Ho. All right, the happy is spelled HAPPI. Okay, Crafty Ho Ho. Okay, they go live almost every day. But right now, okay, sorry, Paul, what do you call this? Sorry for your loss. We know that Drea's mom passed away the other day, and she is still sure busy with family things and things that needs to be done. But big hugs, if ever, sending our condolences to our dear friend Andrea of Crafty. Okay, hold on. Happy Crafty Ho Ho. There you go. Is this mystery craft along? No. Hi, Tamara. From Christy. No. It's just that I started this series where I'm just showing, how to create interactive cards without the dice, right? But this is not my mystery, although I'm actually hosting the MCA next week. By the way, on that note, I would like to invite you at the last Monday of this month for the Twisted Mondays. Of course, that will be on the Not Too Shabby Shops YouTube channel, where I will show you one sketch and show you 3 different ways or takes of that same sketch. And later tonight, later for you guys, in about 7 or more hours from now, it's gonna be another crafty fun with friends of LV Handcrafted, episode 155, where Drea, I'm not sure though if Drea will be able to make it, of course, and then we with other friends. Okay, we will all be there later. Hopefully, this is Case That Card. This is my first time. I've never been in this challenge, so I don't know if how it goes. So I'll just go with the flow, and as I mentioned earlier to the group, I will just copy from everyone. Right, so that's allowed only in the crafting community. So now let's go back. So this is our first. Okay, so now, okay, where is this part? Okay, there, it fell. Okay, so that last part, okay, kind of fell on the floor, that last piece. All right, and then, okay, now this is our trifold, but we said that this is a double trifold, because if you would look at it, when I was working with it earlier, I actually prepared this just earlier, right? So if you would look at it, when you open it up, it does have 3 panels, right? And so I said, ooh, this could be like a Russian doll. I could actually put another trifold card onto the mix, right? So I could actually put another trifold card that can go on top of this one, right? So that when you open this and then you open that, okay, you can actually have a double trifold card. And if you want, you can even have another one over here, making it a triple trifold card, and you can even put another one here, making it a quadruple trifold card, right? So something like a folio, so to speak, right? So I said, oh, that's cute. I've never seen that done. But then, I just was like, when I was working with this, I said, the inspiration hit me that I can actually put another trifold on top of this one, and even another one, and another one. And probably if I want to, and I'm crazy, I can put another one again until it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, right? So like a Russian doll, right? So there you go. So that's what we're gonna do with this one. And again, okay, but this one, the dimensions are a little bit different, okay, because this one's more square, no, not square, but bigger. This one's smaller, right? So for this one, this is, okay, 3 1/4, okay, by 1 1/4. So 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, and then this one is definitely, okay, just this is 1, 2, 3, 8, 3/8. Yes, 3/8 by 1 1/4. by 1 7/8. All right, so the dreaded eights, okay, would be for the next trifold part of this double trifold card. Okay, so it's very easy, right? So whatever you did with this one, it's basically the same thing. Oh, sorry, before I decorated that, I should have shown you. Again, so this one, let's pretend I didn't do that just yet. All right, so this is again, so if you have like a 12 by 12, you can definitely create, I think, maybe one this, and then even a smaller one. All right, so this is 12. Okay, this is 12 by 3. Okay, so 3 inches, that was 5.5. So in total, that's 8.5 by 12. So you still have about 2.5. 1, 2, 3.5 left. All right, from your 12 by 12. All right, and then just like before, you score on the 12 so that you will have now 3, right? 3 folds, and then after that you score. Okay, on to both sides. This time around, instead of 1 inch, you score, okay, half an inch. Okay, you score it by half an inch. Okay, on both sides. Okay, and then just like what we did before, okay, so on the first fold, okay, you hold it like that. You cut up to the middle. You will also still leave 2 inches on at the edge. You open that up. Okay, now you fold. Okay, you fold the last part, and then you cut again until halfway through of your scored line. So this is still, okay, 2 inches and 2 inches. And then you're gonna fold it like before, mountain, valley, mountain, okay, valley. Okay, the same. So mountain, okay, valley, mountain, valley. Okay, like so, valley. Okay, come on. There you go. All right, so mountain. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that's how now it is like that. Okay, if you do have questions, my friends, okay, just FYI. But since this is where I actually added that one, all right, so we're going to mountain, mountain, valley, valley. Okay. Okay, mountain, valley. Okay, so that we will, okay, mountain, valley, mountain, valley. All right. What is happening to this one? Okay. King. Now I am getting confused. All right, there you go. Mountain, valley, mountain, valley. All right, so there you go. Okay. So let's start putting our panels and decorating. Okay, and then we will assemble to create our double trifold card. So that's how easy it is to put up or to come up with this interactive die. No dies needed. Okay, just your scissors or paper trimmer, ruler. Okay, so all of those things are what do you call this? A X-Acto knife. Okay, and you are good to go. Okay, and then this tiny pieces to decorate that one. I decided to cut it so that folding between those in between scored lines for folding. Okay, because if you didn't cut that, it's gonna be harder to fold your card. So I just decided I'll put layers and make those as the mats, and then put layers of pattern paper on top. like so. All right. One of the best MCAs, anyway, for the times that I've been there, was that of Christie's. I really loved how she would, for those who don't know what I'm saying, Mystery Craft Along is an episode, is a challenge on our dear friend Lynn's channel, LV Handcrafty Fun Friends with LV Handcrafted. So it's always at the last Saturday of every month. And somebody in the community volunteers to become like the guide and designs, that month's MCA. The thing is, we don't know what we're making. We just know that we need this paper, we need this dimension. We don't even know if it's a card, right? So anyway, so when it was Christy's turn, the instructions were like, it is like one after the other. She really mixed it up, so we don't really know what exactly we were doing till the last minute. That was super fun. All right, so there you go. So now we have that. All right, so this is now good night, sweetheart. Yes. Oh, not yet, baby. Yes, because my dinner is still. Oh yes, you can. I finished dinner, baby. Yes, so he said if he can put out my dinner already. Yes, so there you go. And then we will just put this on top of, this one. All right, so that will be our double Z fold card. Okay. Oh, but then again, this is the part where I haven't thought of that. All right, there you go. Okay, hold on. If that is like so, then it will not fold. So how am I supposed to stick it? So it has to be, so therefore, the only thing that needs to be stuck to that is this and this. Okay, let me see. Okay, I have actually not done any prototype just yet. This is the first time I'm actually doing this as well. But it's a thought that I have, so you and I will know right now if this is doable. Anyway, we can always do a paper surgery. All right, so, it worked, right? So the only thing that I added adhesive on was, let me see. If this was the card, right? So only this part and that part. Because if you put adhesive on both, then you will not have, the double Z fold like this. All right, so I only added the adhesive onto the bottom of that one so that it would open up like open up like so. Hold on. All right, so like so, double Z fold. Does it still look like a double Z fold card? Okay, let me see. So it's kind of a quick, I guess. You still have that 3 folds. All right, so you do have that 3 folds still from the top, so it opens up left and right like so. So not exactly right like the first one, and then that one, right? So this one and this one. Not exactly like the original trifold and you open the smaller panel, because there should be a way for us to attach that we can still flip it, pop it open or flip it open like so. Right? So, and there. So that's it. Now it's just a matter of, you decorating it, and it still can, it can still fit into an A2 size card. So there you go. Their double trifold card. Put it in the middle. Yes, that's what I wanted to do. If I put both adhesives onto that one. Okay, look what it's gonna happen is, all right, so, okay, if I put 2 onto that one, all right, it can still open. Do I put double? Let me see. Is it nicer if I put double? Yeah. Okay. Maybe because just for make it more stronger. Okay, so just those 2 middle. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, Christy's suggestion, put both on the middle. Okay, still works. And it kind of looks better. Stronger, right? So thank you, Christy. That's a nicer look than just one of them. Right? So you can even have like a sneak peek of a message onto that one. All right, so that is our, okay, double Z fold card. Oh. Okay, it's just that this part doesn't look as nice because I had to stick it. All right, so anyway, if you guys, maybe you could try this out and check if you have a better way of putting that to still come up with your double trifold. All right, this way it does look like that, but when you fully open it up like that, right? So there you go. There. Okay, so open. And then the bigger part. All right. Okay, so I would just got that idea when this was supposed to be just, a regular trifold card. All right, so let's do another one. Okay, so this is our regular trifold. This is our double trifold. Let's do another one using this set of paper. Okay, so that you can see exactly. Okay, so by this time you already know, by heart how to do this. Okay, because we've done it 3 times. Okay, let me see. Oh, yes, it was Tamara. Sorry. Hi, Crystal. Thank you so much for dropping by again, my dear friend. Thank you so much for the very heartwarming letter. It is the first time, actually, that I received a letter. Normally, I would receive cards. So I really appreciate it, Crystal. And definitely, I will be writing you back. Oh, getting on the plane. Wow, Christy is like going almost every day, leaving for somewhere. Yes, it was Tamara. Sorry, my friend. Yes, Tamara, mwah. Safe travels, Christy. Yes, safe travels. And is there an event in Ohio? Or it's just vacation? Again, Tamara, thank you, my friend. Right, so again, you start with the 12, okay, and 5.5. Okay, that's your base trifold card. And I feel that this technique, this trifold card, you can definitely use different size of paper. If you want it, wider, longer, bigger. But one thing I think you need to start is make sure that you will have equal trifold. That is basically how you're supposed to start. Okay, and then the rest is, you can just tweak it and, adapt to whatever it is you want. But it has to have, it is equally divided into 3. That's basically the start. So in my case, these cards that I'm making these are the dimensions. But if you want bigger, smaller, I feel you can definitely tweak this and make it your own. Right? So again, we'll just do, the usual. Okay, what do you call this? Score. Okay, 1 inch on both sides. Okay, flip. Okay, 1 inch. All right, and then after that, 2 inches. Okay, from the both ends. Score. All right, and then the next thing you do now is to cut. Okay, remember your fold is like this because my heart is, this one's another directional paper, right? Because of those hearts. So I will just cut. I hope I can see. I can barely see the line, so I'm not sure. I'm just eyeballing this friend, so maybe this is not gonna be a perfectly cut card or even because I cannot see. All right, and then we open that up, fold. Okay, and then we will cut again on that scored line on both ends. That's 1 inch up to the 2 inch score line over there. That in the end, you should have all of the middle part cut. Just like I said, normally when I use scissors, there's a pad that is not cut properly. So I had to snip that thing off, right? So there you go. And then now follow the scored line. So from the left, okay, so you do mountain, okay, and then valley, and then mountain, and then valley, okay, and then you now have your trifold card. So you don't need dice for this. You can actually just do it manually. Again, this is one of the easiest and common interactive card. So if you are new to card making or new to interactive card, this is one interactive card that definitely you can start with. All right, so there you go, right? Okay, and then we will put super fast. The dimensions of the mats and layers are over there on the screen on the upper right hand. Again, these papers are very, very old scrapbooking papers that I've had forever. And then I just got some coordinating cardstocks that more or less, matches with colors. These are not of the same, what do you call this? These papers are not from the same company nor from the same collection. Just looked at some of the patterns. Oh, it has a red. So I looked for a paper that somehow I have, similar to that, red. Okay, and since this has flowers, those have flowers as well. So I said, okay, that will do. All right, so if you want, you can, open it up so you can line it up like so. If you're OC. And of course, my friends, I would like to invite you over as well. During the Holy Week, just like last year, I did a 7 days of grace during the Holy Week. For those who actually observe the Holy Week, so I'll be doing a 7 days. Again, Holy Week special where we will go through scriptures first and crafting after. So that's going to be April 1st, I think. What is the first, what is Holy Monday, baby? B-boy. What is Holy Monday? All right, so there. So that's our first card. Our first trifold. Okay, and then we're doing our second trifold. Okay. Monday, March 30th. Okay. So our second trifold. Okay. There you go. So remember, okay, so let's attach that one. So it's the same thing again. All right, so again into 3, right? And then score 1 inch on both ends, and then score at 2, score flip, score at 2. Okay, fold, cut, open, fold, cut up to the score line. All right, and then mountain, valley, mountain, valley. Right? So there you go. Okay. Yeah, ito na naman tayo. Mountain, valley. There you go. Mountain Valley, Mountain Valley. Ah. Mm-hmm. Okay, there you go. Okay. And now we're just gonna put our mats and layers. Having those mats and layers in a way helps because the part where you kind of scored it will be flattened. Okay, as well. Yes, fun times. I need help doing the smaller card. Okay. So again, let's do the smaller card a little bit slowly. Slower. All right. Thank you. So I see, Lala, you need to look at the chat. So, all right. So again, so remember, this is our starting. It's the 5 by 12. So if you're starting with the 12 by 12, you still have 5.5 minus 12. So 5.5. So you still have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. You still have 6.5. All right, left over. So from there, I just took 4. Whoop! What happened to my camera? There you go. So I took the next 4. Remember from the 12 by 12. So I just took the 4 by 12. Okay. The other one, I did a 3 by 12. This one was a 4 by 12. Okay. And then I folded it into 3. Okay. So like that. Scored it at 4. Flipped, scored it at 4. And then fold it like so. So that you have your Z. And then, okay, on the short side, okay, I scored at 3/4 this time. Not 1 inch, 3/4. And then I flipped and scored it again at 3/4. All right. And then on the long side, score at 2 inches. Flip, score again at 2 inches. All right. And then from there, what's next? Remember, it was like this, right? That's our trifold. Okay. So mountain, valley. Okay. And then 90 degrees. Let go of the bottom. So you have 2 pieces folded together like so. Okay. Cut onto the left side up to the mid scored line. Same here. Left and right. Or top to bottom, depending on your orientation. Let go, open. Okay, flip the other side. Cut again. So that in the end, you will have those openings at the bottom and the top. And you will have 2 inches on both sides. Okay, and then you fold the smaller, borders. Mountain. Okay, and then valley. And then mountain, and then valley. Okay, so mountain. Okay, that's correct. Okay, but that one, and then this one, we will just put in. So it's like that. And now, it basically will go on top of, okay, our next card like so. So let's just put in the mats and layers. I hope that wasn't so confusing, Tamara. All right, so okay, March is almost over, and at the end of March, I am finally going to be able to watch, our dear friends Christy, Drea, Ellen, Tamara in the chat, and our dear other friends who are really late night crafters, late night crafting. But there's a Facebook group that you can actually join. Okay, so if you watch the Happy. Hold on. Which is the first? Happy. H-A-P-P-I. Happy Crafty Ho Ho. There is normally a QR code that Drea would put on the screen, and you can just, go to the link and join the group. You can post your works there. You can also join the late night crafting. Okay, so with Lynn, okay, LV Handcrafted, Crafty Fun Friends with LV Handcrafted. So there you go. All right, so there. So if it is, okay, so if it isn't, okay, let me see this one. All right, so it should be like that. All right, so it should look like that. Alone. The thing is, all right, so Tamara helped us out earlier by saying that we should, because what my thinking process, my thought process is that it would go on top. Okay, and then it would open up like so. Why this one looks better? I see my mistake. It should have been the middle part that I added adhesive, not the top. So that was probably what Tamara wanted to tell me. So that it does look like this. So it opens up, but then this one is another variation. Because remember, I added this one. Okay, instead of this middle part that I put over there, okay, and not those on top, you know what? I'll do a paper surgery. I will remove it. Yes. All right, because so that it would look like this. All right, so it should have been the middle part. So that, right, so when you open it, it still looks like a trifold card. And then open like so, and so you have a double trifold card. Got it. Thank you, Tamara. So since this was a mistake, let's tweak this. Paper surgery in the making. All right, so for those who are faint of hearts, you might want to look away, because at this point, this has truly been adhered, and I will definitely have probably destroyed the bottom part. Okay, so if you can't handle seeing this part, yes, feel free to look away. Come back in a few minutes after I have, done the surgery, so to speak. All right. Because, okay, I will, tweak this so that, so there you go. All right. We're done with the top or the bottom. Let's do this one. Okay. So, yes. So it's only paper, friends. Don't worry. If we destroy this somehow, it's only paper. Okay. But, again, this is something that I just thought of, right? So instead of just your regular Z-fold, why not make it into a trifold? Why not make it into a double trifold? You can even make it into a triple. You put something in the middle, part of the regular trifold, and then quadruple trifold if you put another one at the other end. Right? So, but for tonight, let's just do a double trifold. Okay? So, I'm trying to navigate the paper surgery on this one. Okay. So, again, if you can't handle this, you can look away. Okay? I am trying my utmost best to not rip the paper, but if I do, it's okay. It's only paper. Okay. All right. So there you go. All right. So we are done with the paper surgery. Okay. Don't worry, because we can always cover that up. Okay. All right. So basically, this is our original. Okay. And then now, instead of this part, okay, so let's just adhere that. Okay. All right. So this one we will remove. Okay. So now we will be attaching the middle part. All right. So hold on. Okay. All right. So it should look like this, right? All right. So that. Okay. All right. Let me see how we're supposed to do this again. Oh, so it's the middle part. It's this middle part. It's this middle part. It's this middle part. Okay. That we will tweak. All right. So it's this middle part. All right. This is it, Pansit. Okay. So instead of those on top, okay, we will be adhering that middle part onto the topmost of the original trifold card, like so. All right. So that when you open it up, okay, it would still look like this. All right. So let me just, there you go. You see you see that? All right. So what we can do now to remedy that part, okay, so I will just need to do a little bit of paper surgery. Hold on. Okay. I will just get some cards. All right, so I will just get some. Oh, it's a different color. Okay, let me just go grab the same color. All right, let me see. Okay, so it should be one of the same color. Do I not have that anymore? So I think I have to start with, where did I put it? I don't know where I placed the others. Where did I put it? Okay, anyway, just pretend. Okay. Because it doesn't fold as nicely as it should anymore, because it has lost a little bit of it, because it's very flimsy now. So I will just fortify that part. All right, so just a little bit, just a tad, about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, onto the sides like so. Paper surgery at work, my friends. All right, so let's fortify that part. Okay, so the one that we kinda had to cut, so it lost a little bit of its strength, so to speak, because I had to remove the back part of that paper, which I have already adhered. See, don't be afraid, it's just paper, right? So all right, so there you go. There. Okay, now we fortify the bottom part. All right. Okay. Yeah. I just couldn't find the same color. I know I still have a lot. It's just I can't find it. So knowing me, I'll be tomorrow before I can find it. So might as well use this. Okay, so that when you open, okay. All right, there you go. So see, all right, because it's very thin now. Okay. Ching. That's your smaller trifold. This is your bigger trifold. So this is thicker, so it kind of looks nicer when you open it, but it's still trifold. Okay, so it's just this part. Okay, so you have the smaller. Okay, so if you open it up, it's like that, right? So it's like a double trifold card. Ding 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 ding. Right, so this part keeps on. All right, so that's how it goes. All right, so this is the corrected. Okay, now let's attach this one. Okay, so this part we will just attach. That was the corrected one. Okay, so this is the new one, and we will attach that middle part onto the middle part of our lower card, like so. Okay, so that when we open, ta-da! And then when we open fully, you have your original Z fold. Okay, and then this is your second your second trifold, your first trifold. Together, you have your double trifold. But one is smaller, one is bigger. All right, so that's how it is. Now it's just a matter of decorating. And let me just check the chat. All right, so April 5. April 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So April 30? B-boy? April 30s. No, March 30. So if Easter is April 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, April is 30. So I start March 29. Yes, thank you, Tamara. I have to watch the master paper surgeon. I can't look away. Right, so I know a lot of people might, what are you doing? It's okay, right? So there you go. So now this is the second version. This was the original one. All right, so if you can see, this is thicker, this is thinner. So you can have various, this is a 3-inch one. Okay, so this is, okay, hold on. All right, so this is 3 inches, the second trifold. This one is 4 inches. Right? So they're not the same. This one, it all started with the same 5.5 by 12. But this one, the trifold, the second trifold here is only 3 inches tall. This one is 4 inches. Right? So again, you can tweak this however which way you want to. But definitely, it will still work. Come on. There you go. All right. So again, friends, I would like to invite you over later on Lynn's channel in about 8 hours. So probably 7 or 6 hours from now, or an hour from now. An hour ago, so it was 7. So maybe 6 to 7 hours from now, right? And then, of course, not this Monday, because that's gonna be Dali's. All right, on next Monday. All right, so I'll be over on the Not Too Shabby Shops channel for Twist It Mondays, where I will show one sketch and do 3 different ways of doing different cards, but inspired by that same sketch. All right, so let's continue on. Now it's just a matter of decorating. You've done the base. Again, this is where it started out. You can always just start with, your trifold card. Again, no die needed for this one. All right, so if you start with a pattern paper, double-sided at that, you can, end with this. Just put your sentiment. But okay, I will put this. So I'll show you that it's so easy to finish off this card once you are done with the base. All right, let me see. Okay, so since there are no more comments, we will, okay, adhere this one. Okay, and let's see how many cards we can finish decorating. But I will definitely decorate this super simple way. All right, so because you know, when you have very busy pattern papers like this, and they are very pretty papers. So look at that. Look at that, guys. I accidentally cut it. But no worries. Don't throw that out, because when you put the layer onto that, it's no longer visible. Anyway, you're going to stick it onto the base, right? So again, when you make a mistake, you know, in crafting, especially in paper crafting, that's fine. Most of the time, they don't know. It's just you. Right? So most of the time, the people won't really see it. And if ever they do, it's fine. That's the difference between, you know, handmade and those commercially bought cards. They're always perfect, right? But actually, even in nature, right? So it's not perfect. And part of those imperfections is what makes, you know, these cards and our cards, the cards that we make that are handmade, really special. Because no two cards, even if you use the same paper, the same design, would be the same. There is always something unique to each and every card that you make. See? So I made two of this one. What if it's the same card? You know, just thinking out loud. What if it's the same card? Okay, can we do the same? I think we can. All right, let me see. Hold on. All right. So this is two trifold card using the same paper, set of paper. So what if we attach them? Just like the way we attach the other one. So we just put it in the middle. Let's see. Again. Let's experiment together. And see. And I feel, why not? I think it's gonna work. It's the same concept. Ta-da! It does work. Right? So now you have two trifold cards. It's a double trifold card. Alright? It's gonna be chunky though. Imagine after you've decorated all of these panels, it's gonna be really chunky. So I don't think it's gonna be something. It can actually even be like a mini folio, mini scrapbook. How cool is that? Right? So that can be this way or it can be this way. You can make it thinner. You can make it thicker. So we actually did 3 different variations of our double trifold card. Right? Awesome! I didn't plan that. This was just supposed to be just a regular trifold card. But then again, you know what? If we were able to do that with the other card, why not with this one, right? Awesome! All right. So, hi, Carol. Hi, Barbara. Yes, we're actually doing an experiment here. Hi, Wims. Good evening. Oh, happy birthday to your brother. Oh, you're going... Oh, you're going to Malaysia tomorrow. Safe travels, my friend. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Barbara. So again, we're doing a kind of a, you know, flipping the usual trifold card into a double trifold card. All right, you doing this 2 of the same trifold cards together. Doing one where the trifold, the second trifold is, you know, smaller. All right. and then doing one that is even smaller because this is only 3 inches height tall. This is 4. So, and we've learned that we can actually, make a tweak or twist on this several times over. It's amazing. Again, sometimes, and I think the things, like this post-it note, right? The story of this post-it note. I don't know if I've told that story several times in the past, but this post-it notes, the story of this one is that they were trying to come up with a very sticky adhesive, but then it wouldn't work. And so eventually, it became our post-it notes, right? So from what's supposed to be, for something else, eventually turned out to be something like, what we did today, right? So we really didn't intend it to be that way. And I even didn't know exactly how I'm gonna do it. All right. But it's just so nice that we are able to tweak things and finally come up with. Okay, is this oh no, it's too big. All right. So okay, so let's just do that. Okay, this is already dry and boast. I mean hit and boast. Okay, I use a distress what do you call this? Distress oxide glaze. No, distress embossing glaze. There you go. Distress embossing glaze. And this one is hold on. I'm trying to look for the actual color for this one. I can't find it. Where's the distress embossing glaze? All right, this one. Okay, I found it. This is the vintage photo for this one, right? Okay, so there you go. Very simple, right? But elegant. And then you can just go ahead and decorate each and every panel. All right. So for tonight, I will not be decorating that, but definitely I will come up with another, probably a shorts video, okay, where I've already decorated all the different panels of our trifold card. All right. So, by the way, yes, I'm going to be the one leading the Mr. Craft along. Okay. This coming weekend, not tomorrow, but the next weekend. So, the next couple of days, as the month ends, you will see a lot of me because we will be having the KCC 22 hop as well on April 2nd, and then I'll be at Not Too Shabby, and of course my regular live streams and my daily live streams for my annual what do you call this, my annual Faith Holy Week episode. There you go. I'll stand by you. Okay, so let us cut that. Okay. Alright, so I'll stand by you like so. And then we'll put that over there. Alright, so this one was, a last minute. I was supposed to do, update my journals because I haven't been able to do journaling episodes since I think the last time was Feb, and it was Faith Journal. So, and hopefully we could still sneak in. If not, definitely Jay and I will be doing our faith journaling as part of our Holy Week episode here in the channel. All right, so let me see if this is even. I'm just, eyeballing things as it is. Right? So, there you go. But you know what? Okay. You could have. Okay, but I already pasted it. Okay, so you know what? No worries. Okay, we can always do it like so. Right? So, again, there is no right or wrong. Okay, just find ways to tweak it, right? So, and then I will just attach this part onto the bottom like so. Okay. There you go. Cute, right? Okay, so decorating so fast. Okay. These are ephemera pieces I've had, okay, with me, okay, in the past. So I'll just cut that. Okay. Do I want another one like that over there or something else? Okay, let me see. Dreams don't work. All right, let me see. Okay, but I do want to cover that, that thing. Okay, and maybe, yes, we're going to cover that with our butterfly like so. All right, see? These are leftover pieces from some of the works I did in the past. Don't worry. Okay. So the one on top is okay because, there's still a bigger part. But the one on the left, those, because this has to fit in an A2 size envelope, right? So whatever is beyond that, I have to cut. All right. So there you go. And so will this butterfly because I just don't want. All right. Again, for those who, okay, close your eyes. All right. So that's the first. That's the second. All right. So this one. Okay. With brave wings, she flies. Oh, that would be a nice one over there. But then how could I do this? Let's cut that in half. All right. And let's see. Right. So you can see that there are two butterflies on both sides like so. And I will hide it a little bit. Okay. Onto the side of this sentiment. Okay. But still with the, butterfly wings still peeking. Alright, so that still looks quite nice, right? So again, you can just put some blings. So we already have a pretty nice cover for our trifold cards. Not fully decorated, but good enough. All right, so let's do it this way so that those are watching on the vertical could still see what we have done thus far. All right, so let me check this way. All right. Okay, again, by the way, my dear friends, please don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, so, and then, of course, if you are new to the channel and you have not yet subscribed, I hope that you would consider subscribing. All right, and hit that notification bell as well. All right, so let's go back, okay, to the chat. Hi, Wims. Hi, Carol and Barbara from Crystal. Thank you so much, Barbara. These are beautiful. All right. And then, again, we did this trifold cards without any dies, simply with our scissors and with our paper trimmers and rulers, right? So again, I hope that you like this, and I will be working more with some more interactive cards that we will not be using dice, so that if you are just beginner, or if even if you are a seasoned crafter, but you probably have not done, or you want to know how to do this without, okay, a die or a die set, then absolutely you can, right? So again, that's it for me for today. I hope that you have liked this episode. And if you would like to see more of this in the coming days, definitely would be doing this. Again, inspired by, when I was going through the batches of cards that I have already, I realized that, there was a point in time during my card making days where I actually did a lot of interactive dice, but most of them I did with dice because I wanted it to be fast, right? But at this point, I am trying to see if we can do this without the dice. All right. Thank you again, Carol. Yes, thank you so much again, Crystal. And again, safe travels to Wims and to Christy. And if you could, include, of course, our dear friend Andrea and her family. Her mom passed away a few days ago. Again, and also for those who might be feeling a little bit under the weather, I pray that you'll have complete healing, and that over the weekend you will have enough time to give yourself, time to relax and spend time with friends and family. All right. So with that, thank you so much again for joining me, and see you on the next one. God bless you all. Bye.